up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Indeed, it is the Buckeye Show. I hear very often. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay, we're not regular guys. Well, we're regular guys. We're not regular guys here. I didn't mean to say it that way. What the hell is this? Is that a heater?
We're just a chill guy.
Yes, I think Carp brought that in.
Who did?
Bobby.
Carpenter brought it in?
Yeah, it is. I will say it is pretty cold over there, especially compared to like this studio. The Brown studio is always really cold. The crew's a bit warmer. I don't know what the makings is for that, why half our studios are normally pretty warm and some of them are very cold. But yeah, I think Carp gets a little annoyed when it's cold. So he decided, I'm going to do something about it.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this right now. Former Ohio State athletes, soft. DeVere, how you doing, buddy?
You take that up with Carp.
No, I'm just talking DeVere. No, wait. DeVere, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How you guys doing?
Good.
What's
you
up,
got the heater
Columbus?
cranked up.
I didn't touch this thing. I didn't touch this thing. Yeah, it looks like a teapot.
Tim's sick.
Yep.
You got the flu, maybe?
Mm-hmm. I was sick last week, man. I think it's going around. I was tore up, too, man. I had to take some nap days.
Those are good days to take. We have a big show lined up for you today, by the way. We are going to talk about the legacy of Will Howard. Talk about storming the court. That's always good. We also there's an Ohio State coach is interviewing with an NFL team. We'll talk about that as well. Get your caught up going on. It's a wonderful day to be a Buckeye, folks. And it's Tito and it's DeVere. And it's a 1-hour show tonight until what we get. Inside Edge. Is that coming next? There we go. I figured that's what it was there, Bodie. Thank you for that. But let's get into this first. I'll tell you, Ohio State's they're at Penn State tomorrow night at 6:30. It's a huge game for OSU in men's basketball. Our coverage started at 5:30. Maybe Tim, maybe someone else. We'll see about that. But the Ohio State men's basketball team coming off that big win against Iowa, DeVere, and they've had some big wins. They've had a tough schedule, but the win against Iowa, they were by 25 at one point on Iowa, and that game was here in Columbus. But this team is starting to come together, I feel like. And look, in January, they are 3-4 in the month of January, which is better than they've been in a long time.
Yep. After
what we've had the difficulties under the Holtman era with how they've done in January. So this game is coming up, though, is a big game because in Happy Valley, Ohio State, it seems to me like Penn State at Happy Valley is one of those teams that Ohio State always has trouble at.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a sleeper game. But with this group, anytime you get Mobley, Royal, Parrish, and Bruce Thornton all scoring plus 10, we're in the win column, Tito.
Yeah.
Those four guys, when they play great, this team normally ends up in a winning situation. And so if those guys can get rolling out in Happy Valley and start making shots, and like I said, that magic number for all those guys is double digits, it's a walk-away victory for us.
And you're right about that. And it's got to the point, there are certain guys that, and I don't know if I can't remember the size of some of these guys I'm going to talk about, but there are certain players for Ohio State basketball through the years, when I see them, they're like this, they are how do I want to phrase this? They are they're not like a tall, thin guard. They are usually like a little bit of bulk to them, but also a good guard that can score the basketball. And I know that Bruce Thornton's one of those guys. It's kind of the same way that I don't want to say I think he's the late Brent Darby was. Mm-hmm. Same kind of way, like somebody who just found a way to score no matter what. Guys like that, and I love watching them play.
Bruce is definitely an early 2000s point guard.
I think he is.
He's not like a Steph Curry hybrid, Dame Lillard, Kyrie type of guard. He's a traditional.
Right. He's not like Steph Curry's a different kind of guy. You know what I mean?
No, Bruce is an early 2000s like Big East point guard, Ty Lawson, Scotty Reynolds, Chris Wright, Johnny Flynn kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Like he can just get buckets. He's around 6'1", 6 foot, 6'2", strong, makes great decisions, can knock it down, midi, get to the free throw line, finish there. But the best part I think he's been doing early in the season, his assists aren't crazy high.
Yep.
But what he's doing is getting Junie in great shots. He's getting Parrish in great scoring situations, and Devin Royal is finding great scoring situations.
Yes, definitely.
So on top of him scoring, he's placing guys and running the offense through those other three counterparts, Tito, and we're getting great results under Bruce's leadership.
I always remember Brett Darby passed away very young, age of 30, I think. I think it was 30 or 31, but when he passed away. But I remember his game against Duke the one year. It was fantastic. But yes, you're right about that. And that's a huge deal when he can get other guys involved. Devin Rose a key to this team. If Ohio State, if the men's basketball team can play strong in the paint, they are a damn dangerous team because they've got the backcourt. The backcourt, I'm not worried about at all. Mm-hmm. It's all about how they match up in the front court.
Yep. Bigger guys, bigger teams give you worries, Tito, going into March.
Yeah, right. That's exactly what it is. Yes. I think they've got the backcourt that can make a run in the tournament. It's just a question of if the front court will do it. We'll give away, by the way, men's basketball tickets against Maryland on February 6th coming up. We'll do that later on in the show, so stick around for that. Go to the YouTube channel. Check us out there as well. We'd love to interact with you. First time working with Bodie in a while. And I'm not going to bring up the Notre Dame-Ohio State game because, look.
He already brought it up.
No, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do that because
Are you technically just bringing it up?
No, I'm telling you, I just told you I'm going to bring it up. Okay. I'm not going to bring it up.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that win by Ohio State over Notre Dame in the national championship game. But the 34-20. I'm not going to bring it up. We're not going to do that. That's not my style. But Notre Dame got Chris Ash, new defensive coordinator there, right, for Notre Dame. Are you happy about that one?
I'm not happy about it. I'm still a little heartbroken over losing Al Golden because he was so good the last few years, especially the last 2 years. I did text Tyvis today, though.
Okay.
And I had to get, you want to talk about an inside scoop, the guy played for him.
Oh, yes.
He said, let's see, quick cliff notes here. He did say a word I can't repeat. He said sometimes we would clash, but he brought out the best of me. He was a good coach, was really good about he called it a great hire.
Okay.
I did ask, and he said, we won the national championship in our first year with him. So I asked him, I said, does that mean Notre Dame's going to win the national championship next year? He said, I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah,
okay. No, that's fair, Tyvis.
The word you can't say, what did it start with?
N-A.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. By the way, I saw something, I'm a sick dude, obviously. Okay. I have a bunch of old Sports Illustrateds at my house from 70s, 80s, 90s. And when I'm bored, I will read one of them. And I read one about this where there was, I can't remember what the college team was. It might have been Oklahoma. But it was they had instead of around the springtime game, they had alumni, like former players, in a scrimmage against current players. DeVere, I'm curious. If they asked you today, hey, we're going to do a little spring thing. We're going to play current players against former players. Would you sign up to play?
Man, I probably would think about it.
Well, of course you think about it. No, the question is, would you? Yes or no?
Probably not.
You wouldn't?
Nah. I would go and watch, though.
Of course. No, God. Would Tyvis play?
He would probably play.
Would he play well? I think Bobby would play.
Bobby would play?
Bobby would
I don't think none of us would do well. I think we would all, it would, first off, is medical on the scene?
Of course, it's got to be, yeah. Yes, of course.
Okay, so if medical's on the scene, a lot of us will be there prehabbing and rehabbing.
All right.
Now, any, traumas or anything that happened, compound fractures, muscle pulls.
Right.
Somebody's going to need the help. We're going to, if this thing happens, I know Ryan Day isn't taking the insurance liability.
He's not. No.
Not Ohio State.
I want to see Tyvis against Jeremiah Smith. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, we would have to make sure Tyvis has health insurance before he.
Did you see the final play of maybe not the final play, but of him going against Christian Gray, Tito? It looked like that, except for maybe 15 more yards of separation.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
right.
Make sure you got health insurance on that.
Tyvis, be confident. That's for sure.
How do you think you displayed your hands today?
I ain't drop a ball. I started to go out there and one-handed because I know people be trying to play me sometimes. So I just want to go out there. Catch everything in sight, didn't drop no money today.
There's Tyvis. I hope he's listening. He's not listening. I hope somebody texts him and tells him we're talking about him, though. By the way, Chris, we'll talk. Actually, we'll do this next segment. I want to talk to you about Will Howard's legacy next, and also an Ohio State coach interviewing with an NFL team. We'll do all that next. This is Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Feeling the aches and pains of everyday life slowing you down? Introducing Blue Emu, America's #1 emu oil formula for pain relief. In a recent clinical trial, 91% of users saw improvement after using Blue Emu. Whether you're working hard, playing harder, or just staying active, Blue Emu penetrates deep to relieve joint and muscle pain fast. And best of all, you won't stink. Join the 91% who felt the difference. Find Blue Emu at your local retailer or online. Blue Emu works fast and you won't stink.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Giant Eagle is teaming up with Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola to give one lucky Buckeye fan a VIP basketball experience. Go to ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle to enter for a chance to win 4 tickets with parking to the March 4th home finale against Nebraska, a Buckeye prize pack, a $200 Giant Eagle gift card, and a trip to the head coach's radio show. Enter today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle for a chance to win. Brought to you by Giant Eagle, Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola. Go Bucks!
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned Redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine, a little breezy out there, but we'll take it mild on this Wednesday, mid-40s. Overnight down to the mid-20s with clear skies and light winds. Increasing clouds, but dry during the day. On Thursday, light winds out of the south and highs again in the mid-40s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
A show that knows its enemy.
They hate us, we hate them. That's the way it's got to be.
It's Michigan, obviously. I even hate them, and I'm the impartial voice guy. Yuck. Back to the Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light.
All right, Buckeye Show. Timmy out. Timmy, we love you. Get better. But if you want to wait till next week to get better. But I'm going to get better at some point. Just, I don't mind working. Anyway, it's me and DeVere, Tito and DeVere, and also Bodie back there running things. By the way, a guy who caught a lot of flack this year, last couple years, DeVere, is Justin Fry.
Yeah, he's went through the ringer.
Right. And look, say what you want. The way the OL came together this year with all the injuries they had, you've got to credit Justin Fry for some of that, right? Yeah. You've got to give him some flowers for that.
I mean, and he replaced the first-round left tackle.
And also the Remington Award winner for center.
Mm-hmm.
That also. Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
Well, I was thinking of Paris Johnson.
No, I'm saying like injuries this year, though. I'm saying with the guys they lost this year. Yes, I'm sorry. The guys lost this year. Yeah. First round, with guys they lost this year. Mm-hmm. Had to do some things with that. And Justin Fry, though, is, according to Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune, which also I got this, though, because it's from Garrick Hodge of 11 Warriors. So I'll credit both of them. He's interviewing for the Chicago Bears offensive line coach opening. Ben Johnson there is the new coach, the guy from Detroit. They're also interviewing the Tulane's offensive line coach. But Justin Fry, though, he's interviewing for that. I think it'd be a big loss for Ohio State. I know he caught a lot of hell for recruiting. But I like the guy as a coach. I hope they don't lose him, but I think it'd be a big loss for Ohio State.
Yeah, the thing I became most fond about with Justin Fry is because he went through those things early on in his coaching career at Ohio State, his method to prepare the offensive line this year was great. Because if you went with 5 offensive linemen at the beginning of camp and said, hey, I'm working with these guys, these are my guys, these are the ones, those 5 guys would only got the best reps going against the best defense in the country all training camp. But because you had an offensive line controversy, because you had an offensive line competition going into training camp, you had to prepare 5 groups.
Right.
With guys playing different positions.
Mix it up, yeah.
Mixing it up. I just think that preparation style helped this group be versatile late into the season. It allowed guys to slide. It allowed, because, hey, I remember for a week in training camp, I was at right guard. Then the next week, I was at left guard. And so now if you're asking me to switch sides, I can do that. So I liked his method to prepare the guys this past year. I thought it turned out great at the end.
I hope they keep him around. I hope it happens that way. But good for him. Look, if he goes to Chicago, he's NFL, happy for him. Happy for Justin if that happens. But if he comes back to Ohio State, I'm not going to be disappointed. By the way, Buckeye Show brought to you by Coors Light and Care Source. Thank you for tuning in here till 7 o'clock tonight. And then Inside Edge follows us. I want to ask you about this. And I'm not going to say you're biased, but it would not blame me. I would not blame you if you were biased. But I was thinking about Will Howard's legacy and where does he stand in Buckeye lore. And I think if Ohio State doesn't win the national championship, if they lose in the semis even, it's much different how Will Howard will be viewed by Ohio State fans. But I'm curious, so when you look at the quarterbacks that have won national championships in recent memory, we can even say Rex Kern in 1968 if we want to, that's fine. But you got Rex, you've got Craig Krenzel, you've got Cardale's another one, If you want to give some credit also in that one, though, to JT, but you also have the Troy Smith's legacy, who was here for multiple years. Didn't win it, had a Heisman Trophy, though, and had a good career. Terrell is the one I was thinking of. Look.
C.J. Stroud.
I'm a huge Terrell Pryor guy. I wish he came along now. With the way the game is played now, and we've talked about that before. Like he would not be a wide receiver in the NFL today. He'd be a quarterback going in, and he would have a much different career. But I look at those guys, and I'm trying to think where Will Howard fits in on that because obviously, look, Krenzel, not a great quarterback. He was a game manager who was a quarterback on a national championship team, so give him credit for that. But Will Howard had and coming in for 1 year also, when you got Pryor, who was here for a few years, and Troy for a few years, and those kinds of things, like you mentioned, and JT Barrett for a few years. And so I tried to see where I rank him. And I'm not saying we have to rank him right now, but he's in the last 25 years, which would take us back to 2000. Will Howard might be on that Mount Rushmore, right? Of the 4 best, maybe?
Yeah, no, you got to put him up there because the one thing about Will's story that hasn't been written is his draft status in terms of Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Within those quarterback names, you got 3 first-rounders, Fields, Haskins, Stroud.
Right.
Krenzel and Cardale, to me, are on Mount Rushmore because they won a natty.
If Cardale leaves after the natty, he's a first-round pick.
I think I think with Rushmore in terms of Ohio State,
right?
None of our first-round quarterbacks are on there.
Okay.
I think it's Krenzel.
Okay.
Cardell.
Right.
Troy, because he's our only Heisman.
Right.
And he played in a natty, 2 natties. I'm sorry, 1 natty. And then you got to put Will up there because he won a natty. And he won it in some of the craziest fashion ever. And I do believe as this shakes out, this combine and this draft quarterback class, I think he'll be one of the top 5 quarterbacks.
Full disclosure, there was a period of time in the early 2000s under my, I always call it previous administration, but I'll just say first marriage. The biggest picture of my house, biggest photograph of my house, I should say, was of Craig Krenzel with my son at the time. So it was still my son. I shouldn't say son at the time, but he's still my son anyway. But that was the most prominent photograph of my house was with Krenzel and my son. So anyway, yeah, I think you've got it right. I think you nailed it on that one as far as who the...
I would put him up there.
I think I would too. And look,
definitely up there.
Their loss the next season.
Well, the Dr.
to Wisconsin.
Pepper commercial puts them on
with Howard,
Rushmore.
yes. Oh, yeah, that was fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
I love that. That was if you haven't checked it out, just Google Will Howard Dr. Pepper commercial, and you'll see it. It is funny. It's great, and you can check that out. Yeah, so I think you're right on that. I think that's where he goes. And there's certainly been guys that are more talented in different levels of things, the way they did things, but different talent around them. But you know, it's interesting, though, to me, DeVere, that we had both quarterbacks. God, Bodie will chime in on this, too. Both quarterbacks in the national championship game were 1-year guys that came in the transfer portal. And I know Ohio State's going to have Julian Sayin now, we all believe, will likely be the starting quarterback week 1 against Texas on August 30th. I think it's, 208 days away, whatever it is, something like that. Anyway.
He already has rapport with Jeremiah Smith, Brandon.
Absolutely does. Yes.
They played together on a 7-on-7 team, SFE Elite. So that's a South Florida team ran by Brett Gantz. So they do have rapport already.
Okay, I'll ask both of you this. Do you believe that it will be more the exception if we have a quarterback who's going to be at a school for a few years, quarterbacking a national championship team or national championship game quarterback, versus a 1-year guy? Like, what do you think is more likely going forward? Do you think we'll have more 1-year guys? You've got Carson Beck going to Miami. Notre Dame, I know, is going away from that this year because they've got a guy coming in, Bodie. But do you think it will be do you think this year was more the exception or more the norm?
I think it was an exception, especially for Ohio State, because Ryan Day is a great recruiter, and he likes to recruit quarterbacks.
Right.
He likes to develop quarterbacks. I think we're normally a homegrown place, but I think the Quinn Ewers departing in the transfer portal, and then Kyle McCord leaving really put a gap in our recruiting. And so we had to go to the portal with the group that we had. We needed a ready guy where we couldn't take a developmental guy, but I think Ryan prefers and staff prefers to have a guy brought up
through the system.
Absolutely, I would.
What do you think, Bodie?
Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit more the exception too, because I think schools like Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Penn State, etc., still recruit the best quarterbacks, and so more often than not, those guys will be the one. Because I understand why he left, and I think it probably worked out best for both parties with McCord leaving.
Sure.
But a lot of times, he was still a 5-star guy. I think if you look at his pedigree, I think a lot of times that guy probably would maybe just come back one more year to Ohio State. And but I also don't think though it'll be a huge exception. I guess I would put it maybe more 60-40. We'll say where. Maybe this next season, off the top of my head, I feel like some of the teams that I'm just thinking of that'll be really good heading into this next season. Penn State will have Aller. He's coming back. Notre Dame should have a homegrown guy. They will, actually, not should. They will. Ohio State, same thing. Texas, same thing with Arch. But, that doesn't mean that, the very next year it couldn't flip, or 2 years from now or whatever. So I think this year was, maybe a little bit of the exception, but I don't think it's going to be a huge exception either.
I feel like if you're at Notre Dame and Ohio State, are a couple examples there. I think that if Ryan Day brought in another transfer this year, let's say he brought in Carson Beck, for instance. Let's say he did that. You lose the confidence.
Decision.
You lose the confidence, you lose the credibility with the younger. You lose Tavion St. Clair. You already lost Aaron Nolan. Let's say you lose Tavion St. Clair. You might lose Julian Sayin if you do something like that. If you bring him in, you need to, if you're going to recruit top level quarterbacks, you have to show you're going to play top-level quarterbacks that you're recruiting. I think that if you keep bringing in one-year guys, Miami brought in Cam Ward. Now they're bringing in Carson Beck. If I'm a quarterback Miami's trying to recruit, I'm thinking screw this.
Yeah.
Because you're going to bring in somebody who's a fifth-year senior or whatever and let him have the job versus developing me. I understand why everyone left. I'm just saying, though, if they brought in somebody like Carson Beck now, if I was Julian Sayin, I would say the hell with this and go somewhere else. Because this is Julian Sayin's time.
So you believe we have potential to be?
I think we do.
We're signing a quarterback in the portal, probably.
No, I don't think. I'm saying I don't think we're going to. I think that they need to let Julian Sayin be the quarterback. I think if they didn't, if they brought somebody in, it would be a bad look for recruiting going forward.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, you have to show that you're still developing, and especially a position like the quarterback. And the portal is an easy fix, but it leaves you with a gap, Tito. It just leaves you with a gap.
I know. All right, make sure you stick around. By the way, coming tomorrow on Morning Juice, less than 12 hours from now. So I know you keep it locked in all the time, 24/7 on the Fan. But Dean Evison joins the Morning Juice tomorrow morning at 7:30. Albert Breer is going to join the Monday Morning Quarterback. Paul Feinbaum will join Bishop and Friends tomorrow morning. Dan Dockich, college basketball expert. I'm Rothman and Ice. All that's coming up tomorrow on the Fan. But we have more to talk about tonight. Coming up next, we'll do this in 2 minutes. Storming the court or field. Good idea? I guess sure if you're on the wrong end. I'll tell you why in 2 minutes. That's next right here. Buckeye Show on the Fan.
Get your seat in the shot to watch Ohio State men's ice hockey this Thursday, January 30th and Friday, January 31st. Join the Buckeyes as they take on Michigan State. There are only a few more home series left, so don't miss the chance to see the Buckeyes at home. Buy your tickets at ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Congrats, Buckeyes. Cheers for the 2024 national champions. We know there's nothing like celebrating in Columbus. So wherever you choose to celebrate, choose chill. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
Looking to sell your home? Don't pay 6% commission. Call my guys at Sell for 1% Realtors. They're full service, not a do-it-yourself kind of thing. On average, customers save over $10,000. Give them a call, 614-451-6616. That's 451-6616.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts, and for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The show where we pay people extra to host with Timmy Hall. This is the Buckeye Show.
Pay extra to host with Timmy Hall? That's disrespectful. The man's sick. He's on his deathbed. Maybe. He might be back tomorrow. Who knows? I'm Tito. Severe to my right. Bodie back there running things. By the way, let's do this. Before I talk about storming the court, let's give away tickets to a game on the court. You can win 2 tickets to Ohio State men's basketball game against Maryland on Thursday, February 6th. Tickets on sale through ohiostatebuckeyes.com. DeVere, give me a number from, look, don't say 37, like a number from 1 to 10.
Okay, 8.
8. Be the 8th caller right now, 614-821-9710. Talk to Bodie. If you're the 8th caller, 614-821-9710. Get a pair of tickets to watch Ohio State take on Maryland Thursday, February 6th. As a bonus, if you reach out to me at FitHappens on the X, on Twitter, and if you win the tickets, I'll meet you for a beer because I'll be out there at the game as well. Anyway, the reason I bring this up about the court. So you remember DeVere, Vanderbilt beat Alabama in football this year?
Yes.
Okay, so they beat Alabama in football, and after that, they were fined by the SEC. They were fined $100,000 by the SEC. Then, on January 18th, they beat Tennessee in basketball. Number 6 at the time, Tennessee in basketball. They rushed the court again. SEC fined them $250,000, DeVere.
Oh, wow.
So now it's $350,000 so far, right? That's what we're looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
Then they beat Kentucky. And in basketball, number 9 Kentucky on Saturday. Fans also stormed the court. Third offense, DeVere Vanderbilt was fined $500,000.
Wow.
Do you know where those fines go?
Where the money goes?
Yeah, do you know where it goes?
No, where's it go?
To the opposing team.
Oh, wow.
So Vanderbilt fans rushed the court on Saturday against Kentucky, and they've got to pay Kentucky $500,000.
That's insane.
Tell me about it.
So if you don't pay, you can't come back and play at Kentucky. Or you can't come.
I don't know. I don't know the penalty. I'm not sure.
Kentucky isn't coming back to Vanderbilt.
Or maybe, I don't know what they would do to that, though. But, yeah, so they've got to. And now, before the end of the game, the AD, Candace Lee, was asking people, please don't storm the court. Don't do it. But they still did it. Yes.
Because I can't do that. I can't pay that fine for you guys.
Right. And so $500K they got to pay to Kentucky. And I don't know what the Big Ten policy is or the Big Ten rules on this thing, but nonetheless, that's a huge thing. Like, that's their third. It escalates each time. Vanderbilt, stop storming courts and fields. I will tell you this, though.
You guys got to learn how to win. You guys don't know how to act.
Listen, if I'm Vanderbilt, let's say Vanderbilt's playing South Carolina in softball. I'm going to get a bunch of South Carolina people together and storm the field if Vanderbilt wins, just to get $1 million maybe to South Carolina. That's huge, dude, that they do that. That's a big amount to pay to the other. And you think about all the money with NIL and things like that that go on, the money you put in the athletic funds. We know what happens. Ohio State, they lost money this last year with the athletic department. But nonetheless, it's $500,000 for storming the court. And I never got the whole storming the court thing. It happens way too often. I understand once in a while.
Yeah.
But
I enjoy a good court storm.
Okay.
Over a good field storm.
All right.
It's in a smaller venue. Access to the court it happens a lot fast. Like, you can see it as you're like, hey, they're storming the court. We're breaking for commercial. You can see, you know what I mean? You can see that. And it's a good feeling. It's a good interaction. But in football, the taking the goal, nobody's taking down the basketball nets.
No.
And rims off of the backboard. So football can go far. But I enjoy a good basketball storm. After a big three, like a three in a corner and then a storm, that's nice.
You beat a number 6 team or a number 9 team in the country, that's not storming the court worthy for me. Was there a win in your career? Okay, let's ask you this. In your football career, and again, I apologize for not knowing every game of your career.
Yep.
I'm sure you've had big wins.
Mm-hmm.
Was there ever a win in your football career where you thought this was storm the field worthy? Or maybe a loss, a win or a loss.
Well, we hit Devin Barclay, hit a game-winning field goal versus Iowa.
Okay.
I think they were ranked higher than us. It was to go to the Rose Bowl.
Okay.
And the fans stormed the field.
Okay.
It was our last home game of the year. So
all right.
They stormed the field. And I think that was really about the only field storming.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been in an away game where they're storming the field? No. Never been in an away game where field was stormed, no.
See, I just don't.
Well, no, I take that back. Wisconsin. Yeah, they.
I remember that.
Yeah, they.
There we don't bring up bad memories again. Here we go. That's what I'm doing there. I know. I've never stormed a field. Now you're an athlete, so you would never have the opportunity to because you're already on the field. Bodie, I don't know if I've ever been at a game where storming the field was a. I was at the Ohio State-Wisconsin game when the Buckeyes in basketball with the Odin Conley year, when Ohio State, I think, was 1, Wisconsin 2, or it was the other way around, whatever. Conley hit a shot to win the game at the end, but I was way up in the upper. Like I might have been last row
up there
of the upper.
Jesus.
For me to storm the court, it would have been like the next day before I got down there. Was there ever a game you've been at where either they stormed the field or you thought we will storm the field.
I have not. I was going to go to the Notre Dame game against USC last year, or 2 years now, I guess, technically, whatever, fall of 2023. But I was basically held at gunpoint, Tito, to go to a wedding, which I banned fall weddings. That's all I'll say about that. But I would have been there, and Notre Dame did storm the field after we just destroyed Caleb Williams, and it was awesome. But no, otherwise, though, to get to the point of your story, I haven't been at any game of court storming, field storming, but I would love to do it. I'd be all in.
You would do it. You would jump over the go and do it.
I mean, as long as it's like reasonable. I'm not like
you're younger than me.
If they're like, I think
have you stormed, Tito?
Never. My wife has.
Is this like a
next Thursday night, Tito? Who do the Buckeyes play?
Maryland. Yes, I'll jump out there and hit it. Right.
If you don't lose by 40, fellas, let's storm the court.
I'm an old soul in that regard. Like, I've never even thought, well, if they win this game, I'm going. I take that back. Wait.
All it takes is one.
Okay, I'll tell you this.
One leader.
Here's my story. Here's my story,
Thursday.
We talked about Krenzel earlier. There was a game where Ohio State, after the 0-2 championship season, I've told the story in the year before, so apologize if you've already heard it, folks. The next season, they're undefeated, number 1, I think they were, going to play Wisconsin on the road. I go to the road game with a group of buddies, like 7 of us went, I think it was. Go to Madison. And raining, and it was ridiculous, but Ohio State, there was a play near the end of the game. Chris Gamble's guarding Lee Evans, and Gamble slips. Lee Evans scores like a 76-yard touchdown. Wisconsin wins the game. We lost track of 2 of our friends. Turns out they were on the field. Okay? So after the game, we're on the field looking for our buddies. We see one leaned up against the goalpost. The other guy, our friend Lalonde, or the guy Lala, he's out there. And we finally see him. The Carpenter played this game. This was the R.J. Reynolds choked the quarterback game. And he's on the field, and we ask him. He said, I said, what the hell are you doing? Why'd you get on the field? And because I saw him also, he was hugging Dustin Fox. The first thing I said was, why were you hugging Dustin Fox? He said, man, I just want to tell him it's going to be okay. Which I thought was fine. I'm sure you love a middle-aged man hugging him saying it's going to be okay. Anyway, I said, why did you storm the field? His answer was, DeVere, you'll love this.
What was it?
Anybody can storm the field after a win. Takes a lot of guts to storm the field after a loss, which I thought was great.
That's a very adversity shows character type quote right there.
By the way,
I like it.
Don't drink too much at football games. It's all the safety right there. My one buddy was leaning up against a goalpost, like just leaning there, and we saw him.
Yeah.
So,
like, what are you doing?
He's just like,
I found a friend. I thought I'd sit here and wait on you guys.
We got a winner for the basketball tickets there.
Yeah, Jeremy was all over it.
Jeremy got it.
8.
Congratulations,
so
Jeremy.
There, Tito. And we're going to storm that court.
That's fine. I'll storm the court. If Jeremy wants to storm the court, I'll storm it with him. Jeremy, hit me up on X. At That Happens, I will meet you for a beer at halftime. We can come there with my buddy Buckeye Frank, who's always going to everything. He's got tickets for me, so I'm going to go out there with him on that game and watch that on February 6th against Maryland next Thursday. Can't wait for that one. All right, coming up next. Final segment of the program. We'll wrap things up. A Big Ten coach, I think he earned some fans from Buckeye Nation. We'll do that next. This is the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
One night, one stage, Billy Joel and Rod Stewart. Saturday, September 20th, one special evening at Paycor Stadium. Together for the first time ever in Cincinnati. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Saturday, September 20th. Don't miss Billy Joel and Rod Stewart.
Donato's is dancing into 2025 with a New Year's deal that's too good to miss. All January long, get 25% off everything you order online. That's 25% off Donato's famous thin crust pizzas, oven-baked subs, fresh salads, wings, desserts, all your Donato's favorites. So get 2025 started with 25% off your online order now and throughout January using promo code 2025. Order with the app or at donatos.com.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
Congrats, Buckeyes. Cheers for the 2024 national champions. We know there's nothing like celebrating in Columbus. So wherever you choose to celebrate, choose chill. Coors Light, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. 21 means 21. Celebrate responsibly.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Weston Air Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
The show that knows how to throw a big, giant Buckeye party. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
All right, it's The Buckeye Show. Final segment of the program. Stick around. Inside Edge is next. Hey, Bodie, what's after Inside Edge? Is this tonight the On the Money show?
No, we don't do On the Money on Wednesday nights anymore. It is, I think, just ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio. Okay, that's fine.
Stick around for that.
Stick around.
It's good.
For that. That's a great sales job by you. That's wonderful by you. But Inside Edge is great.
Yes, it is.
Jackets right now.
Are good, yeah.
They're good.
Almost playoff good, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard
Dale turning it around.
Look, Rimmer on Man and Bone said, bank it. Jackets in the playoffs.
I like it.
Me too. I'm with that as well. By the way, I didn't mention this earlier. I meant to. The women's basketball team still doing great. They last played on Sunday. They beat Nebraska 72-66. They play again on Sunday this week against Washington at 5 p.m. Kevin McGuff spent 2 years at Washington as a head coach over there. Went 41-26 before coming here to Ohio State. So they're hosting them on Sunday. And by the way, I'm going to say this right now. First of all, it's a great environment. They're doing great attendance-wise out there, by the way, for women's games. But if you have an opportunity to go check it out. They're so much fun to watch in person. I love the way that McGuff does the 40 minutes of hell on defense. They're pressing all the time. And That's what's exciting about watching it, is that they rotate. They're deep this year as far as players go. They've got a very deep roster, and they go out there and they are always pressing, always fun to watch. But they got a game coming up on February 17th, which is President's Day, and they've got a noon tip. They are playing Iowa at noon. It's on a Monday. Go check it out. There'll be a lot of people out there for that one. But if you can get out there, if you're off work and your kids are off school, whatever, go out there and check that out. It's a great game to watch. All right. A guy that I don't normally root for is Bert Bielema, whatever you want to call him.
Bert Bielema.
Whatever he is. People call him Bert. Some people call him Bert.
Like that one.
Anyway, and I'm not necessarily a big fan of the guy. He's been successful in the Big Ten. He had a great run at I shouldn't say great. He had a good run at Wisconsin and then went to what he thought was greener pastures at Arkansas. Didn't work out. And then now he's back in the Big Ten at Illinois. He's one of those guys, DeVere, that you get certain coaches that are good for a certain program or good for a certain style of play, style of conference.
Yeah. He's a Big Ten.
He's a Big Ten guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he is like Schiano at Rutgers. No one's won at Rutgers except Schiano. He's back there again, and they're doing good things again. But I'm saying, like, certain guys get into certain positions that's where they'll win. That's where they can be good. That's why their most success. Anyway, so he put out a tweet today. All this stuff's coming out now about Michigan. I don't know what's going to happen in Michigan. I can't predict what will happen. They had 6, I think, level 1 violations, which really should be a really harsh penalty for them.
Yeah, no.
But will it happen? I don't know.
Well, they're tripling down on saying that we didn't do anything wrong, and we'll reiterate that.
Yeah.
And we'll stand on this. NCAA, you guys are going to find nothing.
Right. But they all said, hey, we did some things wrong. Not as much as this stuff. We did do some things wrong, but not all of this. Anyway, Bielema puts out a tweet and directs it towards Harbaugh. Says, really, why did you leave? Was looking forward to playing, but understand why you ran to the NFL. See you in the future and can't wait. And then he hashtag family and highlighted the ILL, hashtag ILL. I love the fact that Bielema went at Harbaugh in this one.
Called him out.
Yeah.
Said you can't run from this.
Right.
And so Pete Carroll got crap when he left USC when the Reggie Bush stuff went down.
And rightfully so.
He got dinged a lot because Pete's departure from USC, it was pre-sanctions. It was before anybody knew anything.
Right.
And so when it came out later, it was, okay, we see why Pete dashed. But in this situation, it had already been out with Michigan. Mm-hmm. And it was a clear move to scapegoat from
right.
So it's one of those things, Tito, where I think for Michigan, I hope they get their just due in terms of whatever happened with the deleted text messages, whatever happened with all of the scouting stuff that was deleted from the cloud.
Right.
You guys didn't delete that stuff for no reason.
Yeah, Morris said he deleted the things from Stallions because he was angry at him. That's not. No, I don't buy that for 1 second.
No more. You weren't angry with him. He's probably one of your good friends.
Exactly. So what do you think when it's all said and done?
Yeah.
Just give me kind of a broad stroke of what you think the canvas will be. What do you think the punishment will be for Michigan when it's all said and done?
Man, I don't know if they'll go after the Final Four season.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Natty. I think the Natty season stands.
Okay.
I think it stands.
No vacating wins. You think it stands?
I think the Natty stands. I think the season before is the season up for question. The Final Four season. And I think if anything comes down sanction-wise, it would be for that season.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 2022 season?
Yep.
2023 playoffs. I think that season will get touched if anything happens. And I think they'll get some future dings for just
future no postseason.
Well, I think it will come in the form of a fine because this, whether it's a loss of scholarships, whether it's because outside of the sign stealing things, they're still being investigated for other things.
Sure, yeah.
So
the Harbaugh doing the visits and stuff like all that. Harbaugh hosting people doing what it's supposed to during COVID.
Knowingly letting people play on the team who were going through legal issues.
Yep.
And so, there's a lot of meat on the bone there for the NCAA to go after Michigan on. I do think they get them on something, and I pray that they humble them on something.
That's what I want. I know people are talking about comparing to what happened with SMU when they had the death penalty. That's not going to happen, obviously. They're not going to sit here and suspend Michigan's program for 2 years or anything like that. That's not going to happen. And honestly, look, if they did force them to vacate wins and vacate the championship, if they did any of those things, that doesn't matter to me. Just like, and look, you go through this too. You know, there are games Ohio State won that they took away. And we know what happened on the field. You know, we know it was a win. We know that. Other schools, when they have wins that they try to vacate, all of us as fans know we saw games they won. We know what happened. So that won't do anything. It's just a question of what you want to do, I think, for the future going forward. Do you penalize scholarships? Do you take scholarships away? The fines like you talked about, DeVere. I don't know if they can ban them from postseason anymore. I don't know if the NCAA's got that kind of power anymore to say you're not going to play in bowl games, because if they don't play, if you do things like that, DeVere, if you say Michigan's banned from bowl games for 3 years, that money affects the rest of the Big Ten that they could have gotten for going to a bowl game. You know what I mean? Because it gets split up among everybody.
Right. Yep.
And so that's a big deal. I don't know if they would go that route or not. So I don't know what the best way to punish them is. I'm not sure what it is, because Michigan being relevant in college football is good for college football and good for the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as important as it was 5 years ago, because now you've got other schools that are, you got Oregon in there now, you got USC, Penn State's obviously very relevant, but you've got other schools now that, whereas Michigan used to be the first or second most important team in the Big Ten, they might not be. There's other teams that can be the first or second best team in the Big Ten other than Michigan now. You got other schools that can do that. So I'm torn on this. I want to see them get slapped, and I want to see the NCAA do something with them, but I don't know how it'll make me feel when it happens, if that makes sense.
You're just going to feel like it's too late. It's kind of not enough. We've got a natty since this came out, so you're not even that concerned.
I'm not. It's like I don't even care anymore.
Right.
I'll tell you the one reason why I would care. This is the only petty reason why I would. Because I've got a couple of annoying friends that are Michigan fans. I'm sorry. I got to change the way I said that. Friends that are annoying Michigan fans. There we go. Let's do it that way. Yeah. Friends that are annoying Michigan fans. You got to make sure you put the friends first before the annoying part. And I would love to be able to say your national championship doesn't count.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to be able to say that.
But I don't know if they'll. I think that one was stand. I think the season that was before that is the one that goes.
Yeah.
It sucks, Tito. It's you want to see something happen to those guys, but you don't want to wish bad on anybody. But with Michigan, it's okay.
I think it is okay with Michigan, yes. Yeah. Michigan might be north of us, but honestly, it's hell. It's south of us. Okay, let's just say that. It's not really north of us. They're always south of us, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that if the NCAA does anything with that. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. Look, Bodie, you're Notre Dame, you're not a Michigan hater, but Notre Dame plays Michigan.
I would disagree, yeah.
They hate just as much as we do.
I would like to say USC is our rival, Tito, but Michigan is the enemy.
Michigan is the enemy, that's true.
Yeah, I hope. Go ahead, sorry.
No, do you want to see him get hammered?
Yes and no. I'm kind of with you. I kind of don't care about the story anymore. Yeah. Like, I was talking with a couple friends last night, and one of them's like, oh, did you see it come out? And I was like, I did. I saw the headline, but I just don't care anymore. Yeah. And if I was, like, in your guys' shoes, especially with Ohio State winning it this year, the national championship, I would care even less. Because it's like, once things, I know Michigan won the game this year, which still seems kind of crazy.
Whatever.
And whatnot. But Ohio State obviously went on to win the whole thing, and so I would care even less if I was you guys. But I think from the standpoint of the fact that they did cheat, and it's not like, they paid some guys in recruiting or whatever. Let's be honest, most schools probably were doing that before it became legal.
Absolutely were, yes.
But they cheated, to win games and get a competitive advantage, and that's where it's like, I would like to see them get something, maybe you suspend more for a handful of games or something this next season because he was part of it, but it's also, once again, it's like, okay, Harbaugh's gone, Stallions is gone, a lot of those guys are gone, so it's, I don't know. I don't know what Michigan's non-conference schedule is this next year. Maybe you, like I said, maybe you suspend a couple games, so at least it's like something. But I'm not sure how much I really care anymore.
Yeah. We're all over it.
Yeah, we'll see. Look, Ohio State won the NAIA. It's all I care right now, right? Like, you're right. It does mean a lot less now, but we will figure it out when the NCAA comes out with those things, and we'll cover that, obviously, quite a bit here on The Fan. All right, that's it for tonight. Thank you, Devere. Great seeing you again, my friend. Thank you, Bodie. Been a while for us. Make sure you stick around. Inside Edge is next right here, 97.1 The Fan.
Oh, hey, the best football team in the country's on the best radio station in the country. Congratulations, Buckeyes. Here's to 100 more years together. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
I used to love shooting hoops with my dad, who taught me great lessons beyond the game. He was the one who helped me open my first bank account. He told me, credit unions take care of you like a teammate and often have the best rates. That's why I've been a Credit Union of Ohio member for 40 plus years.
Make life more affordable at Credit Union of Ohio. With great rates on savings and loans, Credit Union of Ohio has been trusted by families for generations. Visit cuofohio.org to join today. That's cuofohio.org. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling RAV4. Now through February 3rd, get 4.99 APR financing on new gas-powered 24 or 25 RAV4s. Or lease a gas-powered 25 RAV4 LE for $339 a month for 36 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Giant Eagle is teaming up with Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola to give one lucky Buckeye fan a VIP basketball experience. Go to ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle to enter for a chance to win 4 tickets with parking to the March 4th home finale against Nebraska, a Buckeye prize pack, a $200 Giant Eagle gift card, and a trip to the head coach's radio show. Enter today at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Giant Eagle for a chance to win. Brought to you by Giant Eagle, Cheez-It, Pringles, and Coca-Cola. Go Bucks!